Mm-mm, mm-mm.
You're watching Grassroots Resistance Collective. Texas grown, people powered, and unapologetically bold. We expose corruption, amplify real candidates, and give voters the truth the system tries to bury. No spin, no sellouts, just resistance. Let's get to work.
What is up, world? Happy Tuesday. It's August 19th. What's up, Chastity?
What up?
So, how was your weekend?
Hot and
Hot.
hard. It was a hot and hard weekend.
Yeah. We don't have a guest today. I thought we had a guest today lined up, but I guess that's Friday.
Yes.
Who do we have Friday? You know?
Let me look. Let me look. We have Justin Early. He is a he's running for congressional district Texas 31.
Okay. Justin Early. Got it. Justin Early, Texas
Shout out to Jen,
31.
who does our scheduling. She's very good at it.
Jan, she might be watching right now. She's got
Maybe.
some she's got some homework to do this week, which is good. So it brings us back to the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty hot, huh? I think we
It's
set
not
I
super hot here.
I think we set records this weekend in San Antonio.
With
Um
heat?
yeah.
I bet you did.
It was weirdly hot this weekend here, even for us.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
hot. Hot. Y'all
Yeah.
are some if y'all tolerate that shit.
Yeah. I mean that's borderline like no one's going to go outside.
Shit.
Like
And we were outside all weekend.
I know, man. I'm sorry. You were all
I
you
finally got adjusted to it on Sunday or Monday, right before we left. I was like, this isn't too bad. Like tonight, I'm like, I think I can handle it.
Yeah,
But it was
you
hot as shit.
you get a little used to it. So for
It's
those
really because I can't sweat. I have dysautonomia, so
Oh shit.
like
Damn,
body,
so you weren't sweating either?
no. That's why I had like spraying myself with the water bottle with the fan and had the wet.
Wow. Oh, so for those that don't know, hold on, let me open up my comments. Those that don't know, we were um my
At the cannabis.
friends, yeah, my friends came down to San Antonio where I live. Jen came down from the Dallas area. Rihanna came down from the Waco area. Um, and Claire came down from the New Braunfels area. Chastity from Amarillo. I'm a freaking real the other side of the world came
Mm-hmm.
down, and we all met up here at a cannabis festival or a cannabis party, I guess, revolution party.
Cannabis revolution. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. We spent the downtown here. We finally got to meet everybody in person. We were all together at once. That was pretty cool. That was really cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
It was very cool. I'm glad that I went. I'm glad that got to see everybody.
Hmm.
It's kind of like that we talk to each other every day. All of
Yeah,
us talk to each other every day. So it's not like that it like seeing each other wasn't awkward or weird. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Even though it was the first time
I
that
know.
well, second time that a lot of us had met in real life.
I was still nervous though.
Really?
I was like, dang, what if they don't like me?
I think that we know more about you than what you think, or like more about each other than
Yeah,
like just meeting each other has nothing to do with it.
yeah. No, that was.
We did a live TikTok earlier, and I was kind of talking about that,
Mhm.
about like none of us knew each other. We all met each other on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and
Mhm.
just kind of made this like buttercream gang group of rebel resistance people. And it keeps getting bigger.
Yep.
Like we We met somebody today on our live that wants to join our group. We get I get text messages all the time, I'm sure, or like comments and stuff all the time. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
But like, how do we help? What can we do? Which is super duper cool.
Y-
Trying or expanding it.
And it's crazy that I'm in that civic engagement class because today
Yeah.
it was just all about like what everybody can do, what everybody can do, and it seems like everybody is waiting on somebody else. Everyone's waiting for somebody else to, yeah, everyone's just waiting for somebody else to speak up.
Yeah. That's pretty common.
Yeah.
I mean, in my experience, it's very common for people to be like, I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me where to get the posters, or somebody to bring me the posters, or somebody to tell
Mhm.
me, you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, you do that yourself.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Yep. But also it's also hard, to like dedicate that much time to stuff. That's why I think, like, at least with myself, I know that I don't have all the time in the world. Obviously I have a family. I'm going to school full time and all the other things with my wife's business and stuff like that. But if you're able to give any time to any kind
One
of like,
day,
yeah,
one
anything, to
afternoon.
anything, just to just to offer something,
Yeah.
something. That way
And
everybody else stays engaged, and that way everybody knows what's going on.
yes, yeah. You will very quickly become a leader. Um, Even if you don't want to be.
For
I
sure.
push it off a lot. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be anybody's. I want you to all be your own leader.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I know, like, whenever we had first met, I think I said something like, I always forget the damn quote. What is the quote? Leaders aren't born, they're fucking made, or
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, that's the thing, and then I've kind of, it's fucking true, man, because like I right now I feel like I'm in no situation to like be telling people what to do and lead and shit. But people were like, dude, I like your ideas. And I'm like, damn, well, thanks. So that motivates me. That's
Yeah.
kind of what keeps me going. It's like, okay, if somebody wants me to talk, I'm gonna keep talking.
If somebody's going to listen.
Yeah. And
I
this
mean,
and this weekend was like it was like it definitely recharged some batteries. It restored like my faith in humanity.
yeah.
It honestly did.
Figure out how to hold my iPad. Sorry, you guys. I took my camera off my computer, my webcam, and I took it with me to San Antonio, and I can't find it. I'm pretty sure that I unpacked it somewhere.
What the 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 Canon camera you had or the Nikon? What did you have?
No, it's a web. It was just a webcam that
Oh,
computer. I don't think I took it out up there. I'm sure it's in one of my bags.
uh,
I just didn't unpack everything today. I unpacked the podcast equipment when we were on live, um, but I didn't unpack everything.
do you want to message? Let's see if you could text Jan just to make sure, or somebody just to make sure they could hear us okay.
Yeah, I sure will. So, tell me about your classes and stuff and what's going on with that.
So it's I
If
have
you guys,
a
Otobar is going to school to be an attorney.
well, the goal is to get into law school. That's the goal. I don't. It's because I don't really want to be like an attorney that fights like what do you call it? I don't want to be a trial attorney for like civil cases and shit like that. I really want to do policy. I really want to get
Yeah.
into policy. Um, but yeah, this semester it's like all government class, and then a civic engagement class, which is that's pretty freaking cool. I think there's a lot of young people. Obviously, I think I'm the oldest in that the three classes that I was in today. Um,
Okay.
but this is a private university, so like these kids think differently than they're definitely way different than the people that are in community college.
Yeah.
There's a different mindset. Which nothing against community college. I got an associate's from community college, but there's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it at this place. I think I'm gonna
Good.
like it.
Good. Is this your first year there?
It's my first. Well, this is my first. It's my second semester there, but first semester on campus.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool.
Very cool.
And yesterday at this town hall.
Oh yeah, you didn't say you started to tell us, but then you didn't finish.
Okay, so the whole thing was I've been like on this thing in my neighborhood, like association meetings, or homeowners associate. It's not HOA. It's just like the community, whatever you call it, community organization that gets together. We have meetings and take it to city. Anyway, my whole thing has been the homeless situation, and it's pretty bad in San Antonio. You saw it. You were here. It's
Very
it's a
bad.
it's a it's a thing. It's for sure. It's noticeable, but
Yeah.
I think it stems from a drug issue in San Antonio, and I think that the drug issue in San Antonio has been being ignored, and it's being disguised as a homeless issue. And last night at this meeting, there was people talking about citing the homeless and like taxing the like. What? How are you gonna
What?
tax
They
these
don't have
people?
money.
These people are the lowest on the lowest scale economically that you can. They sleep outside every day, and you want to fucking cite them? What the fuck are they gonna do?
They don't care.
Meanwhile, the city of San Antonio has $30 million set aside for the homeless situation. $30 million in the budget just for homeless situation. Meanwhile, the population of homeless people has increased 20%. So there's all this fucking money and nothing's getting done. So meanwhile, they were putting up numbers like how many encampments that they cleaned up, the tonnage of debris. I think they said they cleaned up 1,400 encampments, and they got rid of like 20,000 tons or something like that of debris. So I said, that's cool. I see all those numbers. That's cool, but I don't see anything after that. I just see cleanup. Like, where's the numbers that show me how many people you actually saved and got off the streets? How many people did you get off these drugs? How much, like, where are all the shelters? Where are all the recovery homes for the drug addicts that we have here? Because there is a drug issue, and I feel like everybody's ignoring it, and it's a dirty little fucking secret because nobody wants to bring it up and say that we have a drug issue in San Antonio, but it is. There's a huge
Yeah.
fucking drug issue, and it's attracting
everywhere.
it's attracting the the homeless situation. I don't want to say it's attracting the people, but like you have these drug issues, and there's no resources, no resource. Meanwhile, you have $30 million, $30 million, and all they're doing is just cleaning up, just picking up trash, cutting the grass. So when I asked them all that, and I was like, you gave all these numbers, but you didn't give us the budget, which they didn't. And I was like, what's our budget? And the lady that was supposed to be in charge of the homeless whatever division department that they have here, she said something like 1 point something million, and I was like, 1 point what? I was like, okay, so where did I hear like 40 million or something like that? I was like, because I know I read it either in the Express News or saw it on the news somewhere. And she said, well, I don't know. And then somebody else jumped in and was like, I'll answer that for her. It's $30 million. And she was kind of like long-winded with her answer, and she said something about religious charities, and I was like, okay, religious charities. So you're saying that our public tax dollars go to religious charities? Is that what you're saying? And she was like, and I was like, no, wait. I was like, do our tax dollars go to these private charities that you just mentioned? And she's like, no. I was like, so that's separate, right? The the private charities are separate from the public funds, right? And she's like, yes. And I was like, okay, so why would you bring up the charities? And she's like, well, we could talk after. And I was like, okay, fine. So the one lady that I asked before, she got up and she like saw me after and was like, hey, thank you for your question. And I was like, yeah, whatever. She took off. And then my councilwoman, I went up to her and I was like, I don't know if you saw my question, but I wasn't trying to be combative. I wasn't trying to be disruptive. I wasn't trying to make anybody look stupid. But I asked those questions, and you saw one representative that didn't know the answer, and you saw another one that wanted to talk about private charities that has nothing to do with the city budget. One person didn't know or lied to me, and the other person was straight up disingenuous with her answer. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's. I was like, to me, that is already a red flag in the first 2 minutes of asking these two people one question.
Yeah.
And then well, before that, there was another guy. He was like, hey, my name is so and so. I got his card. He's some director with the city. There's so many directors. I don't even know all these. Like, I don't even pay attention to anybody's name anymore because I've talked to so many people in the city. But this dude, he was some director, gave me his card, and he was like, I really liked your question, your responses to what they were asking you. Um, would you want to come to the city hall next week and ask those same questions in front of the mayor? And I said, yes, absolutely. When and where? And he told me. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll be there for sure. And then that's when I went up to the councilwoman after, and after that, the councilwoman's I guess assistant, whatever he is, like her um director of something. He's like her staff manager. I don't know what he is, but he was like, we're actually working on a board, some kind of home. I don't know. We didn't like go into detail, but he was like, we could probably really use somebody like you on this board that we're trying to get together. And he was like what kind of background do you have? And I was like, well, and I just told him my situation, and he was like, I think we could definitely use that. He was like, go ahead and just send me out your information, send me the story, because you know about the stuff that's happened with my neighbor and all that stuff. You know, like I told him that, and he was like, damn, that's like a huge fallout with the city that involves multiple departments. And I was like, yeah, the homeless situation everywhere isn't just a single issue, which is why I don't understand why there's a 20% increase in the homeless population when we have $30 million in our budget. Where's that money going? So
Exactly.
so yeah, that's how that went. So I'll be at City Hall next week in front of the mayor, hopefully.
Good. And that's, if you guys are watching this, that's how easy it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like going to just paying attention to what's happening in your community and making sure that like you make it to these like town halls and these meetings, or your neighborhood association or community association, school board meetings, literally anything, get involved. Because you can't make a change or have an input in anything. If you want a stop sign in your neighborhood, or if you want, a red light put up or anything like that, nobody can read your mind. You have to actually go and fight for it. You have to go up there and you have to make them do those things. Can't just complain about it.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I heard a lot yesterday at the town hall and today in these classes. They were saying that everybody wants to bitch about everything. Everyone wants to bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch, but nobody does anything. And then when you do something, there's always somebody fucking talking shit. There's always somebody trying to bring you down, and it's usually going to be your friends or family. It's usually going to be your friends or family, and that's what fucking sucks. That's what sucks.
It does suck. I have personal experience with that.
Yeah, a lot of us do.
I know you do too.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, what do you really want? Do you want like a good future for your kids, or do you want to, try to protect your little relationships for, someone who doesn't really care? You know,
Yeah.
I want a good future for my kids. I don't want them to
Yes.
have to, I don't want to worry about them, when I can't defend them myself. So
Yeah.
that's why I do what I do. That, and I already took an oath to the country, and I still hold that very seriously.
Yeah. That's very admirable.
Thank
I
you. I
don't.
don't do it for the admiration, but
It's still admirable, Tovar. Take it.
I'll accept
I mean, really, I was talking to, what was that guy's name today on TikTok? Do you remember?
it.
I can't remember what his.
I could look right now.
I can't remember what his name was, or what his screen name or whatever was, but we were talking kind of about the same thing as like, I don't think that everybody has that. I don't want to say what it takes, but there's a lot of people that think too much about what people think about them,
Mm-hmm.
and not enough about what they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the cost of integrity. You know what I mean? They're not willing to, they care more about what people think about them than they do about losing their soul. And I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be authentic, whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me. I just can't. I never have been able to not just say what I meant
Yeah,
and mean say.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
And then and then when I do when I do stay quiet, because for the longest time, I didn't I didn't know my voice. I had a lot of thoughts, a bunch of thoughts, and I thought they were in my head. They're rational. I was just so confused with everybody else's outlook and what they would think of me because I apparently cared too much about these relationships and their opinions. When I don't know who was talking about the bucket and the crab thing. Was that you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
There's an analogy. Let me look it up. Hold on. It's just a
Yeah,
good one, I think.
that was me.
I think it's like bucket and crab analogy, or crabs in a bucket analogy. Okay. The popular metaphor says that if you put some crabs in an open container, one crab tries to climb out, the others will pull it back in.
Mm.
So the crabs won't get out of that. They just stay in the bucket because they just keep pulling each other down. So
Well,
that's it's like a crab. I guess that's what crab mentality. I don't know. I've always heard that crab mentality phrase used, but I never really understood it because I didn't know the analogy. But that's what it is. Um, it's like I don't know why it feels like when you start going, thinking for yourself, speaking out about certain things. I don't know why people have such a strong opinion about other people's opinion. It's
yeah.
weird. It's super weird to me.
Well, we have, as super opinionated people, we also have opinions about other people's opinions.
But we have,
But
but we're
but it's
opinionated
also,
about other people's opinions that have opinions. But it's like, if you don't have an opinion, why do you have an opinion on my opinion? I don't know. There's a lot of opinions.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like your opinion is of my opinion, or of me even having an opinion.
Yes,
It's not the opinion
like it's not
that I
even
have.
it's not even a critique of my opinion. It's just an opinion of me having an opinion. That sounds
Yes.
fucking weird.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's to be an advocate, it's not easy to, I mean, I guess I've always kind of been this way. Like I've always been like, nah, fuck you, man. I don't care what you have to say about anything. It is what it is. It just is. It just is what it is. Like you can like it or don't like it. I don't care. Not here for your entertainment, not here to make pretty, not here for any reason but for myself.
What did
So
what did Barb, the river barge captain, say? It is what it is what is, and it was what was, or something like that. What is
yes,
is.
it is what it is, and it was what it was.
Yeah, no, what was, and what is, or something. I don't know. She said it way better, but it made way more sense.
He's talking about when we were in San Antonio, I made him do all the touristy stuff, like going on the river, the like river boats.
Yeah, the river walk.
Stuff,
yeah.
River boat. And we had our riverboat captain. Her name was like, it was like Marge or Barb or something like that. And she was really pretty funny. We got lucky and got a good tour captain.
Yeah, we did.
Because she was pretty funny. But he had put in our group chat that whatever she had said, it is what it is, and it was what it was. Marge or whatever, Barb, the riverboat captain. We should all get it that just says that.
We should get a shirt of her made.
Barb. Yeah, a shirt of her.
I want to get a shirt of her made. I'm gonna go back and get a shirt of her made.
Go down there and just tell her, hey, I'm gonna take your picture and we're gonna put you on
TikTok and make you famous.
On a GRC t-shirt.
Yes.
With the quote that you said. Make sure that you get that quote right.
I hope her name's Barb. Because that's what I call her.
I hope it is Barb or whatever. And if it's not, we're just going to be like, from now on, you're Barb.
Well, you're Barb now, dude. I'm sorry. Just go with it. We can make her a TikTok.
Yep. That's what she should do. She would probably make more money.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Man, it was... I bet she was hot as fuck for Barb that day.
I bet it was. I bet it's hot as fuck for all of them. But, you know, really down there by the river, it's actually a lot cooler than it is like on the streets.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and there's a little bit of shade.
Let me just say this because I have yet to get an email from the La Quinta, but do not stay at the La Quinta downtown at the Riverwalk. Nobody. 10 out of 10, do not do it. Like, would not
I would stay there
recommend.
if I was single. If I was single by myself, low on money, that's where I would stay. If I was homeless.
It wasn't even cheap.
It wasn't? Oh, man.
No.
That sucks.
It was like $600. Yeah.
I wonder how much the Marriott was.
$600 for those 3 days.
Oh, man. I wonder how much the Marriott
I don't know,
was.
but it wasn't cheap.
Damn. Yeah, that sucks.
Probably pretty close to it, but I was trying. I had never been there. I'm like doing it by the map. You know what I mean? And I was trying to find somewhere close to where the Revolution Party was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really what I was going off of, was how close it was to that.
Yeah.
And the La Quinta, like, it was close enough. Let me just explain to you guys what happened, because it sounds like I'm just being a Karen ass bitch, but that is not. Okay, so we go to check in, and they're like, okay, so we're repaving the parking lot, or doing something to the parking lot. So on Sunday, you have to like move your car at 3:00, and but don't worry, there's gonna be plenty of parking, whatever. But you have to pay a deposit of $100 for your parking, in addition to what you've already paid for your hotel. And I'm like, okay, so I paid the $100 whatever dollars. They give you these little parking slips, these like little yellow tickets, and when you go to get into the parking lot, you like scan your card, and then when you go to leave, you scan your card again and you scan the ticket, and it like voids your credit card transaction because you've already prepaid for the parking. So the first day was fine. Second day was fine. No, second night was not fine. They started blocking everything off the second night. We had to go move our car into another parking lot because there was no parking in the parking lot that they said that there was going to be parking for. The first night, that first morning, we wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to a fucking fire alarm. Everybody in the entire hotel is out front. It's like 100 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning and humidity at like 90%. You're standing outside in your underwear waiting for like we were out there for like at least an hour waiting for somebody to come and tell us, hey, you can go back in or you can't go back in, like there's a fucking fire, your room's on fire, whatever. Nobody says anything. And then slowly people start trickling back inside. So we go back in and we're like, what the fuck is happening? Everybody's just sitting around eating breakfast. There's like a billion fucking people in there eating breakfast all at the same time. And no breakfast left. Then are you waiting? Are you trying to get my attention? No. Sorry. My husband's standing in the doorway. Then
Doing the helicopter.
we go back in. We decide we're going to lay back down. No. We decide we're going to lay back down. And we're laying there for like maybe 5 minutes, just long enough to like start to doze off again. The fucking alarm goes off again. And we're like, fuck it. So we get up and we get dressed. We leave the hotel. We were on the riverboat ride. We were getting off of the riverboat ride. And Rhiannon got a text. I got a text because we both stayed at the same hotel that said that they were going to be working on the alarm system and it was going to be on and off all day long, that we don't have to leave the hotel. And I'm like, imagine being there all fucking day long, right? Okay. So then the parking lot situation happens. I had already prepaid for parking, but we had to park in another parking lot and pay for that parking too, which pissed me off. When we got into our room, it looked like they hadn't cleaned our room. Like our room it looked like maid went in there and like did the bed and everything like that. But like I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands. The towel has fucking hair on it. Like a man shaved his face and then like wiped the hair off of his face on the fucking towel that is supposed to be clean. The pillow, one of the pillows had like dried blood that you could see through the pillowcase on the pillow. There were fingernail clippings all over the carpet. There was a dead roach in the bathroom. And I'm like fucking livid about this. And on top of that, it's hot as fuck. And I have, like I said earlier, I have dysautonomia, which is a dysregulation of your autonomic nervous system. And your autonomic nervous system is what regulates body temperature, your breathing, your blood pressure, all of those different things. And so my body cannot regulate heat or cold at all. So I don't sweat. Like if I get hot, I don't sweat. If I get cold, I just lose complete circulation in my extremities. And it's fucking, like I said, hundreds of degrees outside with 90% fucking
humidity.
What is it called? Humidity. And we're like outside the entire time walking everywhere we go because you can't fucking just move your car from parking lot to parking lot without paying for everything. And yeah, it was just,
I was so
awful.
embarrassed, man. I was
Why?
like, no, because like everywhere I took you guys, or like that hotel, first of all, fuck.
Though that wasn't even the only thing. The first night that we get back to the hotel, there's a man standing in the lobby in his underwear, like he had gotten locked out of his room or something. And he's just standing there, like legit in tidy whitey underwear, just standing there at the front desk waiting to talk to people because there's a million people in the fucking line that are bitching about the parking lot situation. And the front desk people are dicks about it. They're like, it's not our problem. It's not, you were warned about it. It is not our problem. And I'm like, motherfucker, you made us all give you deposits. What are you talking about? Here's Rhiannon jumping on. She'll tell you how bad you do. And then hi.
Hey, are you talking about that nasty ass hotel? It was so gross, and the room was like a little tiny thing. It was so weird. It was like a giant bed, and like you're like and just like room, and then and I don't like to wear shoes. Oh my god, it was so gross. The fucking carpet. I was like, oh hell no. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Then I had went. So you have to have these little parking pass things, right? So I can't remember. I think it was the night that we came back from. No, we were leaving that morning, and they had only given us 3 passes to leave. And so when we went to go leave to go to the thing, to the party or whatever that afternoon because we had left and we had came back a couple times. I can't remember what we did. Oh, I went to go get the sign. Anyway, I didn't have any more parking passes.
Oh,
so
that was
couldn't get
another
out of the parking
thing.
lot. So I went inside.
Yeah.
I went inside and I was like, hey, I need a parking pass thing so I can get out of the parking lot. And the guy tells me, are you going to be coming and going a lot? And I was like, well, I don't fucking live here. So as many times as I need to, I guess, which is why I'm staying in the hotel. And he was like, well, we have a problem with the guests giving their parking passes away so that people can park in our parking lot. And I'm like, if I knew somebody here, I would not be staying in this fucking hotel. I promise you that. If I fucking knew anybody that I could stay with, I would not be staying in this fucking hotel.
Yeah, the parking system is broken.
Yeah. And so he flings two more passes at me on the fucking desk, and I snatched them up and I just walked out. I was so fucking pissed. Yeah, they're just awful. 10 out of 10. Do not recommend the La Quinta at the fucking Riverwalk.
Dude,
don't do it.
I was like,
No.
I was like, I'm just gonna buy
was
some
a
blow up.
normal price.
I wanted to buy some blow up mattresses and just have y'all just sleep over here. But then I was like, man, what if they see my roaches? Like who's
They're everywhere, man.
who's
Waco.
like whose
I tried
roaches
getting
are
one
more
here at my shop.
tolerable?
We have roaches, like those big
The-
hissy roaches.
The black roaches, the real black,
Oh, they're
like
brown.
the fucking
They're
ones that
brown.
come from outside that
They're
look like
big.
leaves.
Yes, they are
Mhm.
in the tree. Yes, the big scary ones.
Yes,
We get those. We don't get them in our house though. We get them. They're
it's so it's so hot
my
outside.
spirit animal.
It's so hot outside that they make their way inside.
oh, I bet so. I would fucking if I was a mouse, if I was a fucking an amoeba, I would be trying to get inside. 'Cause it is so fucking hot.
Amoeba.
If I was a turtle, if I was a squirrel, y'all don't even have fucking squirrels out in public out there.
No,
That's how hot it is.
I'm telling you, we don't come out till like the sun goes
You
down.
can hear birds, but there are no birds.
They're in the
flying
trees.
around.
They're in the shade. Everyone's waiting for the sun to go down and the oven to cool down.
In Amarillo, our birds will fly, like they'll land on the ground and they'll like lay there stand there with their heads up and their beaks open to cool off. But they're out.
They're regulating
Yeah,
better
but
than you do.
They don't even have squirrels in San Antonio.
Ours are like laying in puddles with their wings spread open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was hot this weekend, and it just rained. Actually, it didn't rain at my house, but where I go to school, which isn't far at all, just on the other side of the highway, it rained on that side. It didn't rain over here.
Yeah, it looks like I could maybe do something out here, but I don't think it will. Might rain tomorrow, it says, in Waco. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. I'm gonna try to sleep in tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. Since I got art. Let's see, maybe I'll have a busy Wednesday, hopefully. So anything did I miss anything important?
No, we were fixing to talk about what happened at the party, how that went.
Okay.
Things.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty successful venture. I'm excited to go back into San Antonio and hopefully get people signed up with craft and using standard operating procedures and aligning with some national standards would be fantastic, and just kind of show that unity between everybody. Is the most important part.
Have we talked about that yet on here?
No, that's why so it all came to tuition yesterday. I actually talked to Wade, and he called me, and basically he was asking about having an attorney, a compliance attorney, and I'm like, what you really need is to have an attorney's not going to write you your business plan and all that stuff for you. What they're going to do is help you compliance. And I'm like, that's what we do. So attorneys should be hiring us, craft.
Yeah.
So basically we can kind of get them all lined up. Of course, I mean, in our industry, it doesn't hurt to have ducks in a row, like an attorney on retainer and stuff if shit goes awry. But in all reality, we have been self-regulating, and craft basically puts the power of that into businesses' hands.
Back to the
people. Yep. And plus it's like, I mean, it just makes sense. It's easy. It's just regular
And
old
now it's like you're
standards.
a player and not one of the bad actors.
Yes, yes. Move away from all all the weirdness in the industry. And here's the thing, a lot of it is just lack of knowledge, really, and lack of education in this industry. And it doesn't need to be that way. There are people like myself and Chastity and that have been doing this a long time. So we can basically help share the knowledge, educate the people. And then and things are always shifting and changing. So I was had some good ideas today about when I'm doing organizing different cities and regions and actually having a specific kind of module just for them, because I mean everywhere you go it's like somebody will have their own little nuance in the industry, a city ordinance or something like you can't sell on Sundays or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
it might be. So and then
for sure.
also we could have it have it be that like a forum too, because I have the ability to create communities and have chats in there within the program, so then people can like maybe do heads up within their their area or whatever, or see some trends or bad
You
actor and share.
you know what has happened with SB3 that I think is was the impossible that I think is kind of cool
The veto?
is that
The people?
no, no, not the veto. Prior to I opened my store probably 8 months after the bill, the 1306 or whatever the hemp bill is in Texas, when it was adopted in Texas. And so I've been here the whole entire time. Rhiannon was in the cannabis industry in California. And then I was in the black market before that. And this entire time, like I've always been into the politics and everything, and paid attention to what was happening because it affected me and it affected my business. But I've never seen any other businesses do that. And it was very hard to get people to like work with you. It kind of was like there was a competition, like a silent competition between every single store the entire time. And it's always been like, we can't be friends. We are competitors. We're, you know what I mean? And it's always been that way. And since SB3 happened, it has been cool to see brands come together, even though you're selling the same thing. Stores come together, even though you're competitive stores in the same city. And actually like work together with one common goal instead of working against each other. And I have not acknowledged that at all.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see the unity and everybody testifying together under one common denominator, which is cannabis L sativa. And ultimately I think we do have different ideas and stuff, but we want the same thing. So I'm just like, and we do like, it's good to have healthy competition. I mean, I saw that.
The fool.
Yep, the food. We like right now in Waco, like I'm in this little town called China Spring, and we're getting our first freaking Starbucks. And right across the street from that Starbucks, it's like a competition. Who goes in first is a scooters. You know what I mean? A scooters drive through. And so it's like, but it'll be like a little good, healthy competition, I guess. I'm trying to, those things like it's just strategic too. And we offer different vibes. Different shops have different vibes.
It's like there's always like a Walgreens or next to a CVS or a CVS next to a Walgreens or AutoZone next to O'Reilly's.
I mean, think about when you go in the mall, how many clothing stores there are.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Ooh. Jen just sent this in. We might have to either stop this or put it on
I might
the
be able to
live.
put it on.
Midas Touch had top oversight Democrat Robert Garcia delivers urgent updates on the Epstein files and Trump's cover-up live at 9 p.m. Oh, 9 p.m.
Okay.
Eastern time. 6 p.m. Maybe, is it now?
Eastern? Yeah, it would be in 5 minutes.
Hold on,
Telling me 8 p.m. But I want to know that because they were supposed to, today was the day. They had two courts that told them they had to release those files by today.
Oh. Have they? No.
No.
They're not gonna release it.
The White House
8
just
p.m.
held a
Central Standard
disastrous
Time,
press
so in 5
conference. Donald
minutes, yeah.
Trump's press secretary, Chief.
hold on, I'm gonna go here.
Interesting. Yeah, I want to know what's going on.
I'm gonna test the sound real quick. Can you let me share?
I don't.
Let me see.
Oh, that looks weird.
Do I have to? I don't know.
Hold on, wait,
that
wait, hold on, wait. Share. Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
goes.
From the beginning of
Can
this
y'all hear that?
entire process, much
Yeah.
of the left-wing media has been actively rooting against the president of the United States in the pursuit of peace. Initially, the media ridiculously claimed that President Trump was somehow beholden to Russia for even agreeing to have a face-to-face discussion with President Putin inside of the United States. The media said President Trump was making a grave mistake by, quote, legitimizing Putin. They were aghast that President Trump would treat another world leader like a world leader. The media relentlessly attacked President Trump and claimed he suffered a, quote, major defeat for not immediately emerging with a final agreement, even though he said heading into that meeting, this was a meeting to listen and to understand how to move the ball forward. All weekend following those historic U.S.-Russia bilateral talks, we listened to clueless pundits on television trying but failing to claim that the president had failed. The so-called experts in the foreign policy establishment, whose record is nothing but endless wars, trillions of wasted taxpayer dollars, and dead Americans, have the nerve to try and lecture President Trump, who has solved 7 global conflicts in 7 months.
Then after that, she taught.
Man, she's crazy.
She is crazy.
She's good. You gotta admit, she's pretty fucking good at what she does, though.
At being crazy?
Yeah, she's just on it. She's just on it. She's relentless.
I think she's delusional.
But she's good at it. She's good at
being delusional? Yeah, I guess so.
She spews it.
Crazy cards. Judgment card.
I put some light on me. It's so dark in my house. I should probably turn lights on. Maybe. I live in darkness so I can have seances. Just kidding.
Oh no, I refreshed the wrong one.
Loves it.
Well,
I'm putting lights on.
back on.
We can still see the screen.
Okay. It might so which one? Okay, exclusive live, Dem's address.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's watch
If
that.
you click on it, it just says like it. If you click on it, it just says it'll be live in a certain amount of time or something.
Okay, cool. Y'all want to watch this then?
Yeah.
For now, okay.
Wait. Yeah. How long is it? I'm just kidding.
You don't think you can jump off whenever you want.
Exclusive live.
It's
So-
usually like 15 minutes long.
So this guy is going to talk about how there is no release of Epstein list.
Probably.
That's what.
What
More of the same. Epstein purgatory.
Exactly. SB5 or SB5 or SB3 is the Epstein of fucking Texas.
Oh God, we're gonna be doing. I'm telling you, we're gonna be like SB 120. Hey,
Mhm.
we're still doing that SB this year. We all right?
My daughter's gonna be showing her kids how to hula hoop.
That's right. Hula hoop to the cannabis revolution.
Did you see that in the group chat?
Oh, I don't think you
His
saw
daughter
that.
made his mom go buy him buy her a hula hoop because he
Oh, good.
I didn't show you.
Yeah,
Look,
no,
I'll
they're
send
fun.
you. I'll send
Like,
you a picture right now.
I'll send you some hula hooping videos for her to watch. It's so funny. So how I learned how to hula hoop on my chest and my arms and do it up here, was from this guy, this man, and he's wearing these short shorts and a tank
Podcast.
top
I want to
that was
get an
like a crop
update
top.
from
Oh, here he
the
goes.
Democrats regarding
That's how I
what's
learned how to
going
do
on
it.
with the Epstein files. Indeed, there was a subpoena issued by the House Oversight Committee for the production of all
picture.
of the records that the Department of Justice has on the Epstein files and everything Epstein related. The Democrats were able to outmaneuver the MAGA Republicans in the House Oversight Committee
That's
to
really
get
light.
this subpoena issued before MAGA Mike Johnson, the MAGA Speaker of the House, was able to recess Congress because he wanted to try to stop any discussions on Epstein while Donald Trump then had his DOJ meet with Ghislaine Maxwell and grant her immunity and move her to a minimum security facility and give her waivers that sex traffickers aren't allowed to get to move to minimum security facilities. By the way, the people in Texas, Bryan, Texas, right by Texas A&M, they are outraged that they've got a sex trafficker moved into their community because that minimum security facility very integrated into the community. Like, you're bringing sex traffickers in here? What the hell are you doing? So today was the due date, though, for the subpoena where the DOJ by law had to turn over everything. I'm looking at my clock right now. They have not turned over everything. They have not turned over anything. Instead, they're now saying they're going to turn over some documents on Friday, maybe. I don't know what they're going to come up with on Friday. What documents are they going to turn over?
Epstein
Let me share this with
purgatory.
you. This is first a statement by the House Oversight Committee chair, MAGA Republican James Comer. Here's what he said. He acted like, oh, we know the DOJ is going to be great here. He goes, officials with the Department of Justice have informed us that the department will begin to provide Epstein-related records to the Oversight Committee this week on Friday. There are many records in the DOJ's custody, and it will take the department time to produce all the records and ensure the identification of victims, and any child sexual abuse material are redacted. I appreciate the Trump administration's commitment to transparency and efforts to provide the American people with information about the matter. Sure, Trump administration and transparency. Yep. Let's look at what the House Oversight Committee Democrats are saying, now led by ranking member, Democratic Congress member Robert Garcia, who's been very aggressive on this. Releasing the Epstein files in batches just continues the White House cover-up. The American people will not accept anything short of the full unredacted Epstein files. In a bipartisan vote, the committee demanded complete compliance with our subpoena. Hand-picked partial productions are wholly insufficient and potentially misleading, especially after Attorney General Bondi bragged about having the entirety of the Epstein files on her desk mere months ago. And to be clear, yesterday during his deposition with the committee, Attorney General Barr could not clear President Trump of wrongdoing. Chairman Comer should release the full unedited transcript of his interview with the public. We will keep pressing until the American people get the truth, every document, every fact in full. The administration must comply with our subpoena by law. And y'all all recall that the Trump regime put about 1,000 FBI and DOJ lawyers apparently to look into the Epstein files, remove them from other investigations, and we learned largely to redact Donald Trump's name from them. That's what the reporting suggests, as Pam Bondi told Donald Trump back in May that his name was on the files that remain with the DOJ. All right, let's bring in the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, Democratic Congress member Robert Garcia. Congress member, want to give everybody out here, first of all, it's great to have you here. We want to give everybody an update on what's going on right now. What's the latest? What are Democrats going to be doing to keep pushing forward to make sure there's real transparency and not a Trump cover-up?
Well, just like you said, I mean, the time's are ticking over here and still no full Epstein files for the subpoena. Now, look, I think what's really important here is a couple of things. One, for the first time, the White House said, yes, we're actually going to send you documents officially. So they just told us that late last night. They said, okay, it's not going to be today. It's going to be Friday. Okay, that's possibly a step forward. But what they choose to actually send to us on Friday, what redactions may or may not be included, how they choose to release the files and in what order, all is going to be very important for the public to be engaged in, because we know that right now the White House is involved in a massive cover-up. They said they're going to release the files. Pam Bondi says that they're on her desk, ready to be released. They have a social media influencer event at the White House, as you know, to talk about releasing the files, and then nothing gets released. And so now we're about to get this first kind of full tranche of documents. It's going to happen this Friday, by the way, days after the subpoena date that the White House should be complying with. And we're going to be able to evaluate that Friday, this upcoming week, what's actually in there. Is the client list included? Have they protected the victims, which is really important, but not redacted anything else, which has been our request. And so we're going to get a really good idea of what the White House is trying to do at the end of this week, and we're not going to let this go. We've got some incredible researchers and lawyers and members of Congress engaged right now. What we do know is that Donald Trump is leading this massive cover-up, but we're not going to allow it. And the American public is finally catching on that Donald Trump is lying to them and betraying them.
They did, I guess, part of the cover-up move. They did this, the first deposition. Number one, oftentimes in these things, one of the strategy of who you pick first, who you pick second tells the story. Right. So they go with the former Attorney General Bill Barr, who's already been involved in cover-ups for Donald Trump and has provided very misleading statements when he was the Attorney General, to put it lightly. So they bring in Bill Barr. I know that they're not supposed to, technically, while it's still under seal or in the committee, you're not supposed to talk about what's happening until there's a procedure for releasing it. But then James Comer comes out right away and he's like, Bill Barr just vindicated Donald Trump and said Trump had nothing to do with it. They then push it through their right-wing MAGA influencer network to try to control the narrative. And so I guess number one, my question for you is, why Bill Barr? Shouldn't Alex Acosta be the first person? I mean, the person who made the sweetheart deal, who didn't even get subpoenaed by the MAGA Republicans. That's number one. And number two, I just want to read the portion of your statement where you say, to be clear, yesterday during his deposition, Attorney General Barr could not clear. I think that this needs more attention. Attorney General Barr could not clear Donald Trump of wrongdoing. Chairman Comer should release the full unedited transcript of his interview for the public. So I know this puts you in a bind in the sense that you play by the rules. You can't go into the specifics of what's said, but can you provide any additional context other than that statement about what it means that he could not clear Donald Trump?
Well, look, let's put the facts where we know them. Donald Trump, we know, is in the Epstein files. We know that his name is there. We know that the Justice Department told him, and that Pam Bondi directly told the president that he appears in the files. And we know that Barr gave testimony, of which, of course, much of it is still sealed. And I've made the request to Comer and the Republicans, let's put all of these tapes and depositions out to the public. We have nothing to hide here. If someone's got something to say, why not let the public hear it, as long as we're protecting any names of any victims? And so what I would say that in no way was Bill Barr's testimony change the direction of this case. In no way did Bill Barr say anything that was groundbreaking in a way to halt our desire and need for justice for these victims, and our certainty that Donald Trump and his name and other folks that may have been involved in different ways with Epstein are not in these files. We know that they are. And so Bill Barr's testimony was an act of Republicans trying to control a narrative, which they're going to do over and over and over again. Well, what the folks that we need to hear from is you're exactly right. Alex Acosta knows more about Jeffrey Epstein than probably any living human being on the planet. He put together Jeffrey Epstein's deal. He's intimately knows the ins and outs of the case, of what happened, of who did what, of every document, of the client list, of what the FBI was investigating, what the U.S. Attorney's Office was engaged with. And so this idea that we're not going to call the single most important living human being that knows more about this than anyone, I think is real, I think, part of a broader scheme to cover up the facts. However, we know now that there's Republicans out there. Now, I've talked to a couple already, including one that's gone public, which is Representative Luna, who have said, they're willing to hear from Alex Acosta. So what we've told James Comer is, if you are not going to put forward a motion to subpoena Alex Acosta, then we're going to have to force another vote when we come back and get into Congress, because the public needs to hear from him. And lastly, I want to be clear. I've told this, Comer has heard this from us directly, and I'll just say it publicly. Let's make every single deposition around the Epstein files public. We Democrats have nothing to hide. Let's hear everything that's out there, and we should not be shielding any information from the American public.
Yeah, I mean, where's the testimony? Even though nobody really asked for Ghislaine Maxwell, who was accused of perjury and is a convicted sex trafficker. No one was like, you know who we really need to hear from right now and make her prison conditions better? Let's release Ghislaine Maxwell, release the files, not release the co-conspirator sex trafficker. But still, even though we know that Trump sent his former criminal defense attorney, who he's now made the #2 at the DOJ, Todd Blanche, to conduct that, we know that the questions are going to be framed likely in leading ways that do not address the core issues about Trump. They still haven't even turned over that publicly, which, like, what are you doing? We just send randomly the #2 at the DOJ, help out sex traffickers, and then don't release the things public. It's just wild to me.
And let me add one more thing to that. This is really important. I'm not at liberty to tell you what Bill Barr said about Todd Blanche and the way that he's been arranging these meetings with Ms. Maxwell. What I can say is I want the American public to hear what Bill Barr said in deposition about how he views the Department of Justice, the current Department of Justice's actions, and Todd Blanche's actions as it relates to this deal with Ms. Maxwell. The American public should know what was said, and we look forward to getting that information out.
And they don't want to release. It'd be easy. Release it. I mean, there's nothing about that that's confidential or classified. I'm sure, as a former practicing lawyer who had cases against the government before, we all know that it was something that's entirely unprecedented, that the guy who basically runs the DOJ, the #2 himself, would show up without the actual line prosecutors and attorneys who handled the case there. And that's unheard of. So we could guess what was said there, but it is important to for the American people to hear that being said. But all they hear is James Comer going out and saying, I got to tell you, Bill Barr saying that he blah, blah, blah. He said that Donald Trump is good. And then that gets reported. It's like, just release the freaking transcripts. This whole thing is cover up after cover up. I want to say this too. The files that are out there already from the civil cases, from what Donald Trump said, like, just think about the fact that we know that little girls, young girls, were sex trafficked from Mar-a-Lago. Like, just start with that premise. Trump says they were stolen, but an underage girl, at least one, possibly others, because Trump said that there were other girls who were stolen. He said, but we know Virginia Giuffre worked at a spa at Mar-a-Lago when Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein went over and said, oh, you're working at the spa? You want to do massages and walk and travel the world with this guy? And that was Epstein's MO. He'd go to Mar-a-Lago, find the girls, and then sex traffic them. Now, whether Donald Trump knew that or didn't know that, then that becomes the question. But it's pretty screwed up that the place that you own is the site where that takes place. So, of course, there are questions. Then when 2 years after that, because that happened in 2000, you say Epstein is a great guy who likes women on the younger side, beautiful women on the younger side. Then you're on the plane with him 7 times, that you do parties at Mar-a-Lago with just you and Epstein, and then invite beauty pageant girls saying that they're going to meet modeling VIPs, and it's just you and Epstein that are there, and then you say you're the greatest Epstein in a 1997 book that he's like, I mean, these are like even what's out there already should shock the conscience.
And I would also tell the president this. I would say, Mr. President, you said that you weren't involved in any wrongdoing, or that you weren't involved in what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. Okay, then you have nothing to hide. Then release the files. Let's vindicate your name. Release the full unredacted files. And so either you're hiding something about yourself, or you're hiding something about others who have committed harm. And so the message to the president should be very clear. If you have nothing to hide, release the files. Because if you're trying to protect yourself or some of your wealthy billionaire friends, then that's a problem for the American public, and why it's so important that we do everything we can to get the truth out there.
One of the things I'm upset about, though, too, is that what Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition was supposed to take place, like, what was it, the 9th or the 11th? Like, it was supposed to take place 2 weeks ago. You very aggressively, pushed for that deposition to take place, just like you did with these DOJ files. She was subpoenaed for her deposition. Then that's when, in response to that, then Trump goes, oh, get Todd Blanche in there right away. So then Blanche does that interview. Then she comes back with a series of demands after Blanche makes her queen for the day and gives her immunity to the House Oversight Committee led by Comer. Comer's like, all right, I'm not going to give you immunity. Maybe we won't give you she asked, I want the questions ahead of time. I don't know if we could do that, but we'll give you a delay until after the Supreme Court. Here's your petition for habeas, for your petition for certiorari. And then she also said, though, after the district court, here's my habeas petition, which I feel is the poison pill in her demand, because the petition ends sometime September or October. It still delays it for another 45 days. But then if she says, I want my habeas petition, does that mean the habeas, then her appeal to the Supreme Court on her habeas? So are they just trying to kick her deposition now sometime to 2026, 2027? Because, look, whether she invokes her Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination, that will be very telling, right? After speaking with Todd Blanche, like, that will make a statement in and of itself. There are a lot of questions that she can be asked that really would be struggling to cover up, just factual questions. But what do you make of that piece of this?
We got to hear from her. Look, this is, first of all, we want to hear from her, but we also know that she is a horrific person. She's not a good person. She's involved in sex trafficking. She has lied, of course, to the courts. But anything she says and her actions, we need to be able to corroborate within the actual files. And so this idea that we are not, we're going to pick and choose who we want to hear from and when we're going to hear from them, this is all games that Donald Trump's DOJ, that Bondi is playing, that Donald Trump is playing. But this cannot last and go on forever. The clock is ticking. The snowball is getting larger and larger and larger. And we're now at the point where the public is demanding what we are, which is just the truth. And so he cannot get away from the bottom line and this truth. And I expect that after this Friday, we'll have taken one other step forward in trying to get to the bottom of what actually happened.
All right. So going forward, looking ahead, talk to us about, you're now the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee. I've been hearing from so many people saying, wow, we've got someone aggressive in there finally, who's really kind of pushing back. What can we expect to happen now in the coming weeks? If they think that they're going to not talk about the Epstein files as MAGA Mike wants to do, what are you going to do there? And how do we ensure that these files get out there when we know that the DOJ is going to throw everything to try to block this?
Look, I think over the next few weeks, we are going to watch this like hawks and be engaged. At the end of the day, we're going to get the files Friday. We have a whole team ready to go to look through what we get. We're going to continue to push and get the rest of those files as we get them, go through them. What we can release, we're going to release. And then, of course, when we get back into Congress, watch our committee, because we're going to take some actions in our subcommittees, in our committees. We're going to force votes. We're going to push hard. We're going to try to get Alex Acosta with the subpoena. We're going to bring on other folks. We're reaching out to victims and their families. We have a whistleblower website and line in Oversight that we've launched, where people can comment and get us information they might know of across the country. So we're going everywhere. We're going to be everywhere. We're going to communicate everywhere. And if Donald Trump thinks that he's just going to let this thing go away because he wants to create some distraction, he has no idea what's coming, because we're going to keep on this till we get the truth for the victims.
I just think already, look, what is likely in there based on the level of cover-up, one can make certain assumptions about. But his conduct in plain view that has already happened, rewarding his friend, one of his best friends, this convicted child sex trafficker, with this upgrade to this facility in Camp Bryan, right by the Texas A&M community, you're giving her all of these benefits. It is a conscious, shocking gesture that the sex trafficker gets this. Like, if you told me, Congressman, look, in the files, Donald Trump says he's going to help convicted.
I feel
child
like
sex offenders.
I feel
There's
like
an
Ben needs a
email in
break,
there, and
like a
he's
little
like,
break.
Here's my plan. Elaine,
Yeah.
if I ever get
Like-
into a position of power, I've got you back when you're convicted of sex trafficking
Yeah.
of children
Little
who
hype.
you found in
Yeah, like,
Mar-a-Lago. I've got
chill
you
out,
back.
man.
And
You're
I
being
go, "That's pretty bad." He just did it.
you need a
He
break.
just did it in our own view.
I'm gonna
saw
pause it.
I'm not even.
I don't think they released anything new anyway.
I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
They're leading them on.
Yeah, I don't yeah, that sucks. So the thing is that Bill Barr said that he didn't see any evidence of Trump being implemented. That's what Bill Barr came out and said.
Yeah.
And of course everybody's going to believe that. Of course everyone's going to run with that. That's the new script. Meanwhile, we didn't get any release of any files. All the same shit we know. Pam Bondi already confirmed that Donald Trump was in the files. They did have, she said, thousands of videos of CP, and they keep using the victims as an excuse to not release any type of files, and it's a huge cover up. Everybody knows that's what this is. This is Watergate. This is JFK. This is everything. This is Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for another like Kent State. I feel like that's gonna happen somewhere somehow. The National Guard or somebody is gonna fire. And then once that happens, we're not in the 60s or 70s anymore. I think once that happens, especially in Texas, because I feel like it would happen in Texas.
Hang on. Hey.
What? Sorry, hold on.
Forget we're on live. I could cut it if you need.
That's okay. My head is starting to hurt, and I texted him and asked him if the food was ready, and he was like, "No, not yet."
Okay.
I was like, can I eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And then he hollered at me and gave me beef jerky that over from this weekend. More beef jerky.
It just sucks that people let this shit slide. They're just letting it slide.
And that's proof that they're letting it slide, because they subpoenaed it for the end of the day today, and it still is not.
Don't eat the red ones. The red ones got cancer.
Okay.
Save those.
Okay.
Mhm.
This gummy bears.
Heck yes.
They said don't eat the red ones. The red ones have cancer.
I know those are my favorite too. Just kidding.
Or is that why?
No, I'm just kidding.
So I was die number 4.
Yeah, it's the RFK. The RFK. Is that the one they got rid of? The red dye.
I think so. No, it's not for you. Dog in my lap. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Nothing has changed. Everything's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And it won't change.
And I'm not gonna stop. You can't fucking stop. You can't let this shit up, man. I'm gonna be 80 years old and still talking about this. Hey, remember that time fucking the government cover up a fucking child pedophile ring of the global elitists? Remember that? Remember when that wasn't a conspiracy? Remember when that really fucking happened? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
You're gonna be like what is his name? Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking to little kids. That we didn't ever go to the moon.
You know that never happened, right? That never happened.
It's been a crazy life for Gen Zers for sure.
It has, dude. What are we again? Gen Zers?
We're Zennials.
Zennials.
We're Gen X, Gen Z, and millennials.
So like my kids, they're like my oldest at 16. What is she
Your
called?
kids are millennials.
They're millennial.
A millennial. No, they're Gen Z.
They're Gen Z,
Gen Z's after millennial.
and it's Gen. So it's millennial Zennial, or Zennial. So it's Gen.
A millennial and a zennial. My oldest daughter at 24 would be a zennial.
Okay. Okay. Got it. But we're like right in between millennials, Zennial, kind of, right? Somewhere in there.
We're between
Gen X.
and
Yeah.
millennial.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
So we're zennials.
That's right. Gen X. Yes.
We have half a Gen X,
Mm-hmm.
latchkey kids with zero technology
Yeah.
for the majority of our life to the technology boom
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that millennials got.
That's it, man. That's an important generation.
So we're technically
And we didn't do shit for like, we didn't do shit in our 20s and 30s. We just let those fucking old fucks take over. Just keep driving the boat for way too goddamn long.
and ruined us.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think it was we are an important generation. We're the last generation that knows what it's like to be no technology.
We're the last generation to, I think, because I know poverty still exists and stuff, but I feel like a lot of the generation now, they're for sure they're more secluded, but we had to grow up a lot faster and take care of ourselves a lot quicker. Because I know I spoil my kids. What's that?
That's the latchkey in us.
Yeah.
Where our parents just let us be, and you would come home from school and lock the door.
Yeah, that was like when I don't know, like when both parents worked, or you had a single parent and she had to work or he had to work, you know. So the kids were
You raised your
Yep, so you just pretty much raise yourself.
totally down.
You learn how to make hamburger helper
Mm-hmm.
or here, but you know, by yourself.
Yep. You learn how to survive every fall, scrape,
Mm-hmm.
drink water out the water hose, come home whenever you're supposed to.
Was it you or my wife that was saying something about scabs? I think it was Val. She was like, kids don't have scabs anymore. Oh, it was my wife. She was like, kids don't have scabs anymore. And I was
They
like,
don't.
and I was like, yeah, you're right. I remember being a kid and like picking my fucking scabs and shit, like all nasty.
All the time.
Like I remember kids had like scabs everywhere, and now like kids don't have scabs.
That is so true.
It's funny, right?
I never noticed it, but they don't.
They don't, right? It's weird.
My knees were fucked up every day, all
Yep.
day.
And I'd pick the shit out of my
Fuck.
scabs.
I have big ass fucking scabs on both kneecaps all the time. Chin.
I have a bad one on my chin. I was jumping from picnic tables when I was a kid. And then I missed one and boom, just hit my freaking chin. And then another one, I was trying to jump a fence and I was wearing a chain that I got from Home Depot. I just cut a chain and put it around my wrist. And I was jumping a fence and the chain got stuck on the fence and I freaking like swung down. I had braces and I busted my face open. I would, if my kids were to do that, I would fucking pass out. Yes,
freak them
dude. I would fucking die.
I know. We survived the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I would fucking die. I remember my daughter had to get stitches when she was a baby. Fuck, dude, that shit made me cry when they gave her the shot for the numbing. Oh man, that shit like fucking wrenched the shit out of my heart. Like, here, you motherfucker. I was like, ugh.
That's a daddy thing. My ex-husband would get so mad about my daughter getting like the shots any kind of shots.
Mm-hmm.
He would get so mad. And I'm like, dude, they have to do it.
Yeah, like the shots or the thermometer or the catheter. All of that I would fucking hate. I would hate.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just be like all mad and crying.
Big old softies. That's funny. That's why the moms always had to take the kids to the doctor.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that I was able to do that. It's crazy because uh, like sometimes I get pissed off at my kids. I sent you that video of that one guy, right? Where he's like, man, if I was fucking you with those new shoes, I would have robbed you.
Yes.
If I saw you on the bus with that clothes, I would have fucking jacked you. Damn.
Don't even know how good you got it.
I know,
but
man.
But really, what he was saying was, I did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because my parents didn't do that.
I'm glad there's like a weird like awakening of like people wanting to break generational curses. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. And being proud of it.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, we've been on for an hour and 20. Let's want to go ahead and cut it.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm ready.
Who do we
Sorry,
have? We have Jay Early. Sorry. What's his name? Justin Early from Texas 31 on Friday, Thursday, Friday?
Friday.
On Friday at 6:30. So
Oh yeah, 6.
So stay tuned for that. And then we have a schedule. Go to our website. Oh, we still need to get that fixed.
Brianna was supposed to do it.
I know that chump.
While we were down there.
Okay. We'll scream at
I'll
her
send-
later.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have a website. We'll try to post it. If not, we'll just stay tuned to us and then check out our schedule. Anyway, we will see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye. I always forget where to end it or where the end live button is. Hold on, I'm still live. How the fuck do I end this shit? All right, on pause. End stream. There it is.